Even the best teams have an off day.
It will go down as one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history as the Giants win it by 3.
Whether it was blowing a big lead or simply not showing up when it mattered most, this is the biggest choke job for every NFL team since 2000 that stands out the very most. Arizona Cardinals. Second half of 2020. The Cardinals stood at 6-3 through 9 games and looked like a bona fide Super Bowl contender. After losing 3 straight and dropping to 500, they rebounded for consecutive wins and moved to 8-6. In Week 16, Arizona lost to a San Francisco 49ers team led by third-stringer C.J. Beathard. Then in Week 17, they lost a winner-go-home game to an LA Rams team that was missing starting QB Jared Goff. From 6-3 to dropping 5 of 7 and missing out on the postseason altogether, those 2020 Redbirds choked big time, all right. Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl 51. Come on, do we really need to explain this? A 25-point lead with a quarter and a half to go in the Super Bowl? This choke job easily remains the most painful loss in Atlanta sports history. Baltimore Ravens, 2019 AFC Divisional Round. The Ravens finished with the NFL's best record in 2019 at 14-2. Lamar Jackson won the MVP award in his second season, and the team's 3,296 rushing yards set a new single-season record. And yet, all that dominance came crashing down in the team's divisional round home game against the Tennessee Titans. The league's #1 scoring offense mustered just 12 points and had no answer for Derrick Henry and company. The 6th-seeded Titans won soundly by a final score of 28-12. Buffalo Bills, 2019 AFC Wildcard Round. The Bills held a 16-0 lead on the Houston Texans midway through the third quarter of their wildcard round showdown. Then the wheels came off on both sides of the ball as Houston rallied for 19 straight points to take the lead. Stephen Hauschka kicked a game-tying field goal in the waning seconds, but the defense couldn't stop Deshaun Watson in overtime. A 34-yard catch to Tywan Jones set up Kaimi Fairbairn's game-winning field goal, and the Bills added yet another gut-wrenching playoff loss to their repertoire. Carolina Panthers, Super Bowl 50. Cam Newton ran away with the MVP award after leading Carolina to the NFL's best record at 15-1, and the Panthers looked poised to win the franchise's first ever Super Bowl. Newton and the offense choked big time, however. Newton was sacked 7 times, and Carolina's offense turned the ball over 4 times in a 24-10 loss. Chicago Bears, Super Bowl 41. 2006 looked like the year of the Bears in more ways than one. #2 in scoring offense and #3 in scoring defense. Only the Bears could truly stop themselves. Well, unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. In the rainy and muddy Miami conditions in Super Bowl 41, Chicago just could not get out of their own way, turning the ball over 5 times in a 29-17 loss. Cincinnati Bengals, 2015 Wildcard Round. The Bengals were one defensive stop away from winning their first playoff game since 1990, but they just couldn't stop with the self-inflicted mistakes. Leading 16-15 with a minute 30 to go, Jeremy Hill of the Bengals coughed up the ball and gave Pittsburgh new life. Then Cincy allowed Pittsburgh to convert a 4th and 3 conversion to keep the season going. Then Pac-Man Jones and Vontaze Burfict each committed careless 15-yard personal foul penalties that set up Chris Boswell's game-winning 35-yard field goal. Cleveland Browns, 2002 AFC Wildcard Round. Cleveland jumped out to a 24-7 third-quarter lead over the rival Steelers in the 2002 AFC Wildcard Round. But in typical Browns fashion, they reminded their fans that they simply are not allowed to have nice things. Pittsburgh rallied for 29 second-half points and took a 36-33 lead with 54 seconds remaining. On the game's final play, Kelly Holcomb found Andre King for 16 yards, but the latter couldn't get out of bounds in time. The clock hit 0, and the Steel City comeback was complete. Dallas Cowboys, 2007 NFC Divisional Round. The 07 Cowboys sent an NFL record 13 players to the Pro Bowl. They finished with the NFL's top record at 13-3 and looked poised to win their first NFC Championship banner since 1995. Dallas was a 7-point favorite for their divisional round showdown against the New York Giants, whom the Cowboys swept in the season series. But Tony Romo and the offense struggled to find a rhythm all game long, and the G-men stunned Dallas by a final score of 21-17, which led to the whole
"It's my quarterback"
rant from Terrell Owens. Denver Broncos Mile High Miracle Game. All the Broncos had to do is hold off a Hail Mary from Joe Flacco and the Ravens, and they would host the 2012 AFC Championship game. But we know what happened from there. Jacoby Jones got a 70-yard touchdown in the waning seconds to force overtime. Peyton Manning threw an interception to Corey Graham near midfield, and Justin Tucker booted the game-winning field goal in OT to stun the top-seeded Broncos. On the bright side, Denver got some closure by winning the Super Bowl 3 years later. Detroit Lions 2014 NFC wildcard round. Talk about the picking up the flag controversy all y'all want.
Boy, that was late. Have you ever seen that call picked up that late? Not at all.
But the Lions still had their chances to win this one. Detroit led 14-0 and 20-7 before surrendering 17 unanswered points. Matt Stafford had a chance to drive Detroit down the field for the win, but he was strip-sacked by DeMarcus Lawrence. Did the refs make some horrible calls here? Yeah.
No contact before the ball arrived. I've never in the history seen one turned over. Congratulations. First time in the history that's happened.
But the Lions didn't have to cough up 17 unanswered points, now did they? Green Bay Packers 2014 NFC Championship game. What is there to say? The Pack could not recover a simple onside kick that would have sent them to Super Bowl 49. Allowing 15 fourth-quarter points and the game-winning touchdown on the opening drive of overtime? Yeah, that's a loss this organization will never get over. Houston Texans 2019 AFC Divisional Round. Blowing a 24-point lead in a playoff game will get you on this list pretty easily. The Texans committed mistake after mistake after mistake in this game. The debacle began when Bill O'Brien mind-numbingly made his team try a fake punt in their own territory, which kickstarted the KC comeback. Indianapolis Colts, Week 15, 2022. No, it wasn't a playoff game, but to cough up a 33-point halftime lead? Yikes! Yeah, that sums up the 2022 Indianapolis Colts all right. Jacksonville Jaguars 2017 AFC Championship game. The Jaguars were on the wrong end of some bad calls in this one, but still, blowing a 10-point fourth-quarter lead and going ice cold on offense with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Ooh, that one stings. Kansas City Chiefs 2013 AFC wildcard round. An Alex Smith touchdown pass to Niall Davis put the Chiefs up 38-10 early in the third quarter over the Colts. And then the collapse was on. The Chiefs allowed the Colts to piece together 5 touchdown drives in the second half. Andrew Luck's go-ahead touchdown to T.Y. Hilton with 4.5 minutes remaining held up as the game winner. Indy's defense forced a turnover on downs to complete the improbable comeback while handing KC another gut-wrenching playoff loss. Las Vegas Raiders, Super Bowl 37. Led by MVP Rich Gannon, the Raiders were a 4-point favorite against old friend John Gruden and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 37. But the high-powered Raiders offense was no match for the Bucs. Gruden knew the ins and outs of that playbook and led Tampa to a blowout 48-21 win, winning the franchise its first Super Bowl. Los Angeles Chargers 2022 AFC wildcard round. No team has aced the art of choking in the 21st century more than the Chargers. But this one stands out. The Chargers jumped out to a 27-0 lead in the first half. They won the turnover battle 5-0 and still lost. If that isn't a classic Chargers choke job, we don't know what is. Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl 36. Led by 2001 League MVP Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf offense, the Rams were a 14-point favorite over the Patriots in Super Bowl 36. But the offense was sluggish for most of the game, and the D had few answers for some 24-year-old nobody named Tom Brady. The Rams allowed Brady to orchestrate a clutch game-winning drive capped off by Adam Vinatieri's field goal. This would be the last big game appearance for the Rams in the greatest show on turf era. Miami Dolphins 2008 AFC wildcard round. The Finns made a surprise run and won the AFC East Division title with an 11-5 record, thanks largely to the Wildcat offense that left teams searching for answers, at least throughout the regular season. When it came to the postseason, the Finns simply vanished. They were no match for a Baltimore team featuring a rookie QB in Joe Flacco. Minnesota Vikings 2009 NFC Championship game. The Vikings have suffered their fair share of playoff heartbreaks in the 21st century, but the 09 NFC Championship game stings more than the rest. Brett Favre throwing an interception in the waning seconds with his team already in field goal range, with a chance to win it all? Ay, Brett, what are you doing, man? New England Patriots, Super Bowl 42. If Asante Samuel doesn't drop that INT, or if the Patriots complete the sack on Eli Manning instead of allowing him to escape and throw the helmet catch to David Tyree, then the 2007 Patriots are 19-0 and go down in history as the greatest team ever. New Orleans Saints, Minneapolis Miracle. This one really doesn't need much explaining. Make one tackle on Stephon Diggs inbound, and you're going to the AFC Championship game. Or, just let career journeyman Case Keenum throw a miracle touchdown pass to Diggs as time expires. New York Giants, 2002 wildcard round. A huge blown lead in a playoff game? Yeah, that'll land you on this list. Giants fans don't need to be reminded about the meltdown at Candlestick Park. Blowing a 24-point second-half lead is one thing, but to also botch the snap on the game-winning field goal attempt as time expired? Total choke job. Now mind you, if only the refs called the 49ers for pass interference on that final play. New York Jets, 2004 divisional round. The Jets and Steelers were tied 17-all late in the fourth quarter. New York kicker Doug Bryan missed a go-ahead 47-yarder at the 2-minute warning. On the ensuing drive, Ben Roethlisberger was picked off by David Barrett. That gave Bryan another chance to play hero. He missed again, this time from just 41 yards out, sending the game into overtime. The Steelers would win on Jeff Reed's 33-yarder, spreading heartbreak throughout Gotham. Philadelphia Eagles, 2002 NFC Championship game. 2002 looked to finally be the year for the Eagles. Surely, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wouldn't come into Lincoln Financial Field and steal the NFC crown from under their noses. Well, actually, that's exactly what happened. The Eagles turned it over 3 times and had no answer for Tampa's offense, or defense for that matter. Pittsburgh Steelers, 2018 late season collapse. The Steelers survived all this well-documented offseason and in-season drama and stood comfortably at 7-2-1 through 10 games. Pittsburgh finished 9-6-1 and missed out on the postseason for the first time since 2013, ending the Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell era on a sour note. San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl 54. Leading Kansas City by 10 points in Super Bowl 54, the 49ers just needed a stop on 3rd and 15 to essentially ice the game. But they inexplicably left Tyreek Hill wide open for a 44-yard gain, leading to the first of 21 unanswered fourth-quarter points for Kansas City. Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 49. It's easy to merely focus on Russell Wilson throwing an interception to Malcolm Butler at the 1-yard line, but let's not forget that the NFL's #1 defense took a nap in the fourth quarter and allowed Tom Brady and the Patriots to execute 2 surgical touchdown drives. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Week 5, 2003. The defending Super Bowl champs had Peyton's Colts on the ropes. They led 35-14 with less than 4 minutes to go, only to allow 3 consecutive touchdown drives. That's not all. The kicker, Martin Gramatica, had a game-winning 62-yard attempt blocked at the end of regulation. In overtime, Colts kicker Mike Vanderjagt missed a 40-yarder, but Simeon Rice was penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 97, defense. Oh, man!
Vanderjagt made good on the mulligan, and the Colts completed the shocking comeback against the defending champs. Tennessee Titans, 2021 AFC Divisional Round. With less than 30 seconds to go, Ryan Tannehill was picked off by Logan Wilson. Burrow found Jamar Chase for 19 yards on the next play, and that set up Evan McPherson's game-winning 52-yarder on the final play of the game. Washington Commanders, 2022 late season collapse. After a 1-4 start, the Commanders went on a 6-1 run and had themselves in prime position to return to the postseason. They stood at 7-5 before notching a tie against the Giants in Week 13. But following their Week 14 bye, the Commanders lost 3 straight games. Washington finished 8-8-1 and missed out on the postseason for the 2nd straight year. But which do you think is the biggest NFL choke job since 2000? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.